How's it going, guys? Welcome to the FM Dugout for episode 11 now of the Hexagon Challenge. Still here with Ajman Club in the United Arab Emirates. So, obviously I said I was going to do an episode if we made the final of the President's Cup. So, as you can probably guess, we didn't do it. Today sees us play the winners of the President's Cup, Al-Shabab in the United Arab Emirates Super Cup. We got put out in the second round. I suppose it's a quarter-final of the President's Cup by Al Ain. So we played them 3 times last year, drew twice and lost once. Rather uneventful game. I'm not going to bother covering it, or the Banias game before that, not much point. This year is really all about the Champions League, and probably this will be the only episode that won't be about the Champions League. The reason for doing this episode is I can do a quick summary of the pre-season, various ins and outs at the club, and you get to see whether or not we can start off the season with a Super Cup win, which would be really, really useful. I'm not actually sure if there's prize money for this. That would be very handy. There's not. Okay, so no prize money. As you can see from this screen, we're 405,000 in the red now, and that's after about 1,300 season tickets have been sold. So financially, we're not doing well at all. And you can see here a number of our key players, excluding Salem Ali because he's kind of backup, but certainly all the other players there are, actually as well, Hamad, Mohammed, Ibrahim isn't really. So basically Khamis, Ibrahim and Cinnamon are wanted, and it's a little bit worrying at the moment that someone may come along and put in a bid that the board just can't turn down. I have actually been able to turn down bids so far for Khamis and Al Kamali. They were reasonable, they were around what they were worth, but I was able to turn them down, so that was quite good. The other thing to mention is Walid Ahmed Hassan had come forward to me, and this might cause us problems. He came forward and said that he wants a new deal to reflect his ability, right? Now, I offered him a contract before and he wouldn't talk. He is now. Okay, right. I'll probably sort that out after this episode, because previously I was offering him a contract when he was unhappy because apparently Al Wada were interested in him and he wanted to move there if a decent bid came in. Fortunately, they haven't bid, so he's still our player. Anyway, rambling on. Try to keep this short. So let's have a look at the transfers. Number of transfers out, so 4 youngsters here, and then basically the only ones to really talk about. Michael, obviously I decided to let him go and went with Everton. Nobody's approached him yet. 28 goals in 34 appearances was really good, and sorry to see him go. It's a shame with the foreigner rule because I would have loved to have kept him. Wally Danber had potential but wasn't really working out, so I just let him go. A right back, Sheikh Ali Sultan Rashid, who the fans thought was an aberration of a signing, but then made it into our Hall of Fame. He's now gone as well. Maybe regretting that a little bit, and I'll show you why in a minute. The Mubarak Hassan also went, another one I might be regretting. Decent enough player at central defence, kind of felt I could do better. He was earning a fair amount of money. And then Jassim Al-Fakir has moved on, our resident red card man. He's moved on to Hatta, I think, in the first division. Now this guy had been here for about 8 seasons, 113 appearances. He came to me and said he wanted a new challenge. Again, another one who was earning a decent amount of money, so I decided to let him go, and we've actually managed to get a small sum of money in. He was worth 40k, so it's not too bad. In terms of who we brought in, Everton, we knew about this already. Looks like a really good player. I think he should take over from Michael pretty well. 7 goals in 6 non-competitive games, 2 assists, 2 player of the match, 7.63, so not too bad. 2.2k a week, as I say, 24 years old. So yeah, I think he'll do for this season. The other 2 signings here are defenders. So we've got Sultan Al Ghafferi, not done very well since joining the club. Good solid defender, quite pacey for what he is. Brave, good with decision, good with teamwork. And then the 3 key technical ones, heading, marking and tackling, all at 12, so not bad. 1.1k a week, I think is a little less than what our defenders beforehand were on. And then I've signed Yusuf Al-Sayed, who was formerly at Banias. Now I brought him in kind of to be cover for Ryan Cinnamon, but also as a centre-back. And again, he looks fairly good. Not very good in the air. Jumping reach is 4, heading is 8, and that's why maybe I was thinking, playing on the right might be a better position for him. But nonetheless, not too bad. And again, 1.1k a week. So yeah, that's basically what we've done at the moment. The other thing to mention is Will Miller does not want to talk to us about a contract extension, and his contract's up at the end of the year. So I'm not too bothered about the foreigners. I think they're a lot easier to replace. It's when you lose Emirati nationals, that's where the problem comes in. So if I were to lose Hassan in midfield, that would be a bit of a problem. Now, I have brought in a couple of guys on trial to see whether or not they'd be any good, and there was one that was sort of reasonable, and I've also got this man here, Kim Jin Hwan, keeping an eye on him as well, as a potential replacement for Ahmed Ibrahim. Which way is it? I can't remember. General info. Where is he? Where are you? Ahmed Ibrahim, yes, that's the man. So yeah, I mean, oh god, his skills are going down as well. Pre-season has not been good to these guys. I've obviously concentrated on fitness, which I actually need to go back and change to balanced now and put back to average now that we're starting the season. Squad's in decent shape, so it's not too bad. So yeah, really just wanting to need to go forward and have a look at our team now. Really just wanting to get on with the Champions League campaign, which starts in January, and yeah, I think I'm just going to have the one crack at this. The way the finances are, I can't see us keeping this squad together, and it's going to be a bit of a problem. So I've actually started keeping an eye on the jobs in Australia as a potential out route. Certainly, if I take a quick look at our profile now, 1.5 gold stars. So I think we started on 1 silver. We've won 3 trophies as a club, runner-up in 1. I've won Manager of the Year as well. So, I think we could potentially get a job somewhere else. Maybe Australia's a bit of a push. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about that. So yeah, in terms of our team lineup this year, this is the strongest squad. The strongest starting 11 as I see it. At the moment, Ali Khamis is struggling a little bit with match sharpness because he was coming back from injury. We also lost our backup goalkeeper, so we have Ahmed Murad from the youth team brought up as the emergency backup. Ali Mizmari, I've just cancelled his contract today. He was supposed to be retiring at the end of the season. He wanted to leave. Nobody was putting in an offer for him, so I've just decided to cut our losses with him. Also called up Zayed Al-Zabi from the youth team. Again, not really great, but he's here as backup. As I say, these players have to be registered, so I really need to look at utilising the youth, because he's only on like £100 a week, which is a lot better than trying to bring in someone earning another 1k a week. Actually, if I just take a quick look, sorry for hopping about like this. So at the moment, we're spending 42,000 a week, and our wage budget is at 50,000, so we're 8,000 roughly. It's probably more 7,300 under our budget. And again, as you can see, where we were to where we are now, we've more than halved our budget, or spend. Sorry. I don't know how guys like Tata and Boris Kabi could have been at the club, and Driss Fatui as well. Interestingly enough, the board at the end of last season said they were disappointed at the sale of Fatui, and I was like, well, you're the guys that commissioned it. I wouldn't have let him go, but you did. So a little bit of an AI bug there perhaps. So anyway, I think we are good for today to kick off the new season, and hopefully we can see here we go, auto number all. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Hopefully we'll see a good performance from ourselves today. And I've just realised I'm absolutely all over the place. This is me trying to do this quick. Here's our friendlies. We lost in a testimonial to Al Gharafa from the Qatari Stars League. Now, that was a testimonial for Fakir, who left a day earlier. Great. But yes, you can see from the other results, Al Ittihad, you remember, was in our first season in the first division, 5-1 win there, beat Al Jazeera 3-2, Al Arabi, not sure where they are, Emirati lower division, not a great win, but then we beat Al Ain in the last game at home fairly comfortably, so we're in a good stead at the moment. So today will be a good test against Al-Shabab, who were one of the better teams last year. Special day for the supporters. Nobody cares about the supporters, they never do. Okay, not a great team talk. The midfield seemed totally disillusioned by what I've said, and once again I'll need to tone down the speed. Sorry about that. I'll get there in the end. I'm getting there with speeding it up in between. We got an early chance here with Al Mansouri, and I don't know what he did in the end. Again, another team playing this unusual formation, the 4-2-3-1, with no one really in midfield. Big gap. It'll be interesting to see how we do. Now, what I do want to do is tell us to play short passing today with that. Hoping to see Ibrahim and Walid Ahmed Hassan in the middle of the park control the game. So here we go. Ibrahim now launching it forward to Kamali on the wing. A good chance here to whip it in. Everton, and he marks his debut with a goal. Can't ask for much more than that. It's a pity he didn't go in first time, but sniffing around there for the rebound and puts it in. And certainly, as the stats go, pretty even so far. Just the usual story with this formation, really. Very efficient in terms of our passes and tackles. Not as much possession as the other team, but again, having a back four with two sitting right in front of it, it's going to be difficult to break down. So, fairly uneventful first half, quite quick. Let's see. Honestly, I really want to say that, but I'm just going to say keep it up, see if we can get some positivity going in the team. Good news so far is that Everton seems to be responding pretty well during the friendlies to my team talks. So that'd be good if I can get the striker on side. Yeah, so not too bad at all. Would like to see us get an early goal, get us 2-0 up, and that should be us fairly comfortable. I'm hoping perhaps Will Miller might sign a contract later this year, but I can just see this team collapsing like a deck of cards unless we can do well in the Asian Champions League. Okay, that's us now at our magical 60-minute mark, and I'll let it go a little bit further. Let it get to the next highlight just in case we can do something from here. Can we win it? Can Cinnamon do it? He's probably going to get a red card here, in fact. And we've got to be careful here now. Zaidarov loses out to Ibrahim, but Sultan picks it up. Great challenge there from Al Mansouri, I think that was. Can he do it again on Al Hamadi? Al Hamadi tries to get the better of him. He gets the ball in, and it's at the front post. A great save from Khalef. To be honest, it was straight at him, but still, it was a good save, and we cleared our lines particularly well. Now Everton picks it up. What can he do? He's waiting for support, and he loses the ball, but Khamis now gets it, looking for Hassan, and we give it away. Bit sloppy there in the middle of the park. Now with Khamis at 64%, it's not played amazingly well, and Booty Saif has done really well in the friendly so far, so I'm going to actually give him a go. In terms of how everyone else is doing, it's all fairly average. I can never really bring myself to take off Al Kamali. He just always seems to pop up with a goal, even when he's not playing particularly well. As you'll notice from the ticker, he was actually named Player of the Year for the division, and Ali Ismail Ibrahim, our central mid, was Young Player of the Year, so not too bad at all. Hassan with a lovely little back flick. Al Kamali, he nearly proved me right. Not quite. Saif knocks it off the defender for a corner, and Ibrahim whips it in. Saif with the header. Unusual to see a winger pop up for the header, and we've got to be careful here not to give the ball away. Some nice short passing. It's really good football from this team. Really pleased. Quite happy with the formation. Al-Kamali now whips it in and straight into the keeper's hands at the front post. Now, will this launch a counter-attack? It's not going to be much of a counter-attack. We have actually got our players back, but you know what I mean. No, Ahmed Ibrahim to Ibrahim. Miller looking for Al-Kamali, can't get there. Miller again to Hassan, to Everton, now to Al-Kamali, and he misses. I tell you, I've jinxed him. I said that he's always there to kind of pop up and score a goal even when he's not playing well, and he's now missed 2 really good chances. So just to get some fresh legs on, I think we'll bring on Al Hamadi, and we'll also bring on Yusuf Ahmed up front again, although I'll probably jinx him as well. He seems to be a guy who can score off the bench, so let's see how it goes. But not too bad. Certainly, I think we've deserved the win. We probably deserved a bit more than 1-0. Haven't really seen much from Al-Shabab. We're 9th favourites for the season ahead. Now, there's only 14 teams. Our board expect us to win the league, and the players in the pre-season meeting seem to think that that's what we should be aiming for. So certainly that's what we'll go for. It's not going to be the priority. If I've got to rest players for the Champions League, then that's exactly what I'll do. And Khalef making a great acrobatic save there late on into the game. It was a nice effort from outside the box, but he was up to the challenge. And are we just going to run down the clock here now, or is there going to be another chance for Al-Shabab? No. Al-Ghaferi plays it forward to Saif, into Miller, and that's a sloppy first touch from the Englishman. And now we've got a counter-attack here. Great challenge there from Ahmed Ibrahim. Just underlining the importance of him in the team, really. And a very late chance here. Oof, that was dangerous. Really good ball into the back post, but fortunately no one was there to capitalise on it. So, is the clock just going to run down now, or will we have one more chance? Miller. Decidedly poor game from Miller. It says he's played 7, but not the greatest. And another cross straight into the keeper's arms, who just launches it up the park. And Al-Ghaferi gives away a free kick. And this will be the last chance of the game. What can Al-Shabab do from here? Nothing, because the ref blows the whistle straight after. Okay, so not the greatest game, but we won the cup, and it's another notch in Ajman's history that will go down well. And it's another cup for myself as a manager to help me reputation-wise get jobs elsewhere. Let's see what we got. Everton makes his debut and scores. Yeah. Mizmari is now gone. Okay, so that's the Super Cup done and dusted. Not too bad. We've won everything now in this nation apart from the President's Cup. As you can see, it's the same format as last season. Emirates Cup group matches. We're actually in a really tough group this year. Al Ain, Al Jazeera, Al Shabab, Al Wada and Al Wazl. I'm thinking that's based on their league position. Could be. Tough group. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not going to do any live com games there. I'm just going to try and blitz my way through those. Blitz my way through pretty much everything up until January, until the start of the Asian Champions League, where the real excitement will kick off, and maybe just do a bigger episode to cover a couple of games at a time there, rather than sort of scattering them throughout. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the series. I really appreciate the comments that have been there so far. You know who you are. It's really good to get some feedback on the series that you're actually enjoying it. So hopefully that will continue, and the Ajman journey will progress into the Asian Champions League in the next episode. So guys, until then, I'll see you when I see you.